and welcome back to Coffee with the Wolves, presented by JJC Athletics. I'm Damian Dennis, and this week we're joined by Athletic Director and Head Baseball Coach Gregg Braun. Greg, welcome.
Thanks. About time I get on this baby, right? Excited to have you. This has been really cool that you've been able to do this and showcase, every sport.
Yeah.
Our head coaches, our student athletes. So kudos to you. This has really blossomed into something really, really awesome.
And it's only going to keep growing from here, but we're here to talk about the upcoming baseball season, so we're recording this Thursday. These shows come out Friday morning. Your season starts Friday.
Yep.
That's what we're here to talk about. And I want to dive in just immediately, talk a little bit about last season. So we're going to kind of backtrack a bit.
Okay.
I wasn't here last year. I'm new to the staff, but baseball program last year, where did you guys end? And where do you hope to grow from where you ended to where you are now?
Well, it was quite a year, right? Our ended where we wanted to in Greenville, Tennessee, at the NJCA World Series with a seventh place finish. So that's not where we wanted to end up, but we got to the dance, and that's been a major goal. This is entering year 5 for me, and but year 15 here, so I've had a taste of that World Series, national championships, but we had an 8-year drought. So to get back to the World Series, to kind of get back to the Wolves name back out there in the baseball world was awesome. 39-25 record. We're really the 40-win season sits there that we'd love to put on a mantle, but now we want to get back to New York. So the World Series has changed. We go up to Auburn, New York instead of Greenville. That's always the goal, is a national championship. We got, a regional title and a district championship last year, which is 2 out of the 3 in the goals. So we're hungry. And last year it drives you, but I can't believe we're finally back here. It's been a long road since June 2nd or whenever the season ended. But like you said, we're ready to roll tomorrow.
Cool. And you mentioned you finished 7th at the World Series last year. You're also ranked 7th heading, preseason ranked 7th heading into this season. I want to ask kind of does that set up certain expectations for you as the coach and for the program as a whole?
It shouldn't. One of the things that I strive and I talk to, even through the recruiting process of guys that want to be part of our program, is there's a lot of pressure in this program, and that's good. And that's just kind of the make of JJC's baseball program, and kind of what's been created for a lot of times is we'll see a lot of people's best. We're always, everyone wants to beat us. I don't know what we ever did to anyone, but everyone wants to beat us. And now it's different. We're the hunted. And for the longest time, we've been the hunters. And so it doesn't change the mindset. I think our goal and all that, and I think the guys are there, but now it's a matter of the leadership and being able to handle you have what everyone wants. And so, but we're ready. They're good. They're prepared. But it's exciting. It's exciting. Every single game in our 56-game schedule is, it's up there, and we need to win and prove ourselves and get back to the World Series.
56-game schedule. I did not realize that's how massive it was.
It's about 56 games, and I would say about 68 to 70 days.
Whew.
So there's double headers on the weekends, and there is a lot of baseball played. So, it's I tell the guys it's a 92-day journey starting tomorrow to get to the World Series. So
the weather is great for it. It feels like it's already March out there.
Well, we're really at a huge advantage this year. I've told the guys this numerous times out there. We've been outside since mid-January.
Yeah.
There's been days or years that we've gone on this trip and not seen a fly ball outside. And with our inter-squad games and what we've done outside, I feel like we've almost played the equivalent of 5 games. We've seen it. Guys have kind of built their pieces of that puzzle. So we're ahead of the curve for sure. But we'll see if that comes to attrition starting this weekend.
Now, I want to ask a little bit about some of your student athletes, specifically some of those key returners for you this year. Who are you looking for that played for you last season, who you're hoping will take take the next step, maybe step up as a leader or step up just performance-wise?
Yeah, I mean, for a team that went to the World Series, we only bring back 3 starters, in the call it starting lineup. But center field and Mitch Thomas, he's going to come back, be our leadoff hitter again. He was, all region player last year. 40 walks, got on base, lefty swinger at the top of the lineup. Just really drives that lineup. When he gets on base, good things happen to us. Behind the dish, I mean, we have Cooper Hertz and Mike Jeffers, who are both our returning catchers. Like, that's huge. When you have both catchers that have caught over 30 games, their leadership, but their ability to control a game, both Mike and Cooper, really bode well for our pitching staff. Manny Kleiss is back. He's our Swiss Army knife, but found a lot of time at second base last year, and looking to lock that down and be around. So position-wise, we got guys back. Hobbs Dunn's back with more significant time as our third baseman instead of just swinging from the left side. And there's guys back position-wise, but the pitching is where it's going to go. Jaden Mathan and Jack Otis, Matt Kelleher are our 3 returning dudes that kind of spear up the rotation. George Laymacher, Adam Malima. I mean, those are guys that are going to be back in kind of that not closer, but where you're at in the bullpen. But Jack Otis was our closer last year at 15 saves, unbelievable stats, and now he's in the rotation. And Jaden, he could throw the ball, but he's got to maintain himself and be quiet and quiet down, meaning his body and just how he goes about every day. Kelleher, had himself in some big games last year on the mound, and to improve him. We've put George Laymacher in huge opportunities last year, and we got some holes to fill. So he might be a rotation guy, or he might fill. And there's other guys from last year's squad that are just going to be able to prove themselves.
And kind of the same question, but for the new faces, you've got freshmen coming in or transfers, of those players, who are you expecting to kind of take a step and really make a name for themselves with this program?
Yeah, I mean, a lot, too, on that is on our pitching staff. One of our freshman starters in rotations, Brandon Cusack, that, we're really excited about. I think Brandon shows maturity. He was named freshman captain, which right away is a huge honor, but also, tells you that you're doing things right. Gavin Seby's a transfer that we have that hopefully will close out a lot of our games. We're going to expect a lot from Jack West and Josh Lassidus. Those are, the guys. And, on the freshman side of things, there's some injuries. There's some guys that are, battling in that pitching staff. So we're going to see how that presents itself. In the position world, Mason Heitzler is going to battle over at that shortstop to earn that spot. Dylan Scafuri is a transfer for us at first base that we're really excited about. Zach Terrence, one of our named freshman captains, to come in at DH role. Johnny Carrera. There's a lot out there of guys that are going to be able to show us something. And that's also some other returners, that aren't mentioned. But right now, everyone's in the mix. Yeah. And everyone's going to have that opportunity to show us what they can do. And I always say, everyone's just going to be a certain puzzle piece, and they're going to have their role. And we're going to see how that works. 56 games, it's all gonna work itself out in the end.
Right. So you start the season tomorrow on the road. You're going to Indiana. You're going to face Olney Central College. Kind of wondering, what are you expecting from them, if anything, and also what are you hoping to see in the first outing?
I'm just hoping we were able to slow it down. First game, the jitters, the worriness, the excitement. Right. Olney's always a good program. They have a new coach this year. Their coach retired. Their head coach retired from a long tenure there. So, but they're gonna give us a good battle, and then we're gonna see Morton on Saturday morning, which is a regional battle for us. That counts in our region. And then Vincennes is always tough. So, and then we'll see who comes out for Sunday. But it's an interesting weekend because. Yeah, you want wins, but you want to see things. And I want to see guys get in there, and I want to get their feet wet, and I want us to breathe. And, this has been since August 22nd, it's an ongoing process to get to us here. So we'll see it all. We'll see errors. We'll see drop fly balls. We'll see strikeouts. Hopefully not a lot, but it's all about the process. What goes on in February and March in this program really just helps us get better in May.
Yeah, and kind of looking beyond only in this opening weekend for the Wolves, who are some other opponents on the schedule that some key opponents for the Wolves, whether it's regional opponents or just, other teams who might be a good test for the program.
There's no doubt. We play one of the toughest schedules in the country, especially on a Division III level. So we get back from Vincennes and we go right up to River Grove and play Triton, and then we get a home opener where we're going to sneak in a doubleheader. And when we go to Texas, it's a gauntlet. We're playing Division I's down there. We're going to see Tyler every year. They're ranked in the D1. We're going to face off the national runners-up in D3, Eastfield, Northlake, Richland, all teams that are ranked in that D3 world down there. So we're going through a gauntlet. I think it's 12 games in 8 days down in Texas. Then when we come home, the thing about Region 4 is every game's it's a battle. It's just an awesome region. We're battle tested every day. Obviously we want to see our Division III opponents. We kind of want to measure up on who we got to get to get to New York. But, we play Madison and the Kankakees and the South Suburbans of the world that are in the D2 and the D1s that are perennial powerhouses in those. So this whole region's really loaded, and it proves to we get battle tested so that when hopefully we get to that region and district that we're ready.
Now, your answer kind of sparked a question in me that I should have been meaning to ask Sean and Danny too, because much of my work so far has been in the basketball realm, but Division III, but playing against Division II and Division I opponents, how does that competition, because obviously you're going maybe up a step in level, how does that competition prepare you for your own region or your own division throughout the season?
I mean, it does a great job. The majority of Region 4 is in that Division 2 level, with 6 or 7 in the D1, and then there's 6 of us in the D3. So it prepares us. And that's, my Texas trip, I go down and play 3 Division I Texas schools. I mean, they're big boys, right? Mm-hmm. So it really does prepare us. And, up here, we play anyone. We actually have one game I forgot is we have Heartland coming here to play, and they're the defending Division II national champs. And so they're coming up this year, and we're going to go down there next year. So we're kind of an open door policy. Let's play. I want to play. I want to battle test us. So it does. This region schedule prepares us 100%, especially, when we get to the regional tournament, those guys have played the same teams we have. But then when we get to that district tournament, hopefully our schedule helps us a little bit more and get past that hump and get to the World Series.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to start wrapping up here. I want to ask, you mentioned it to me before, but I don't know. Like, we haven't followed up because it kind of was in passing. I want to bring up Game Changer because I want to ask specifically, are fans able to follow along with the action live via Game Changer?
They can actually watch, which is really awesome. To find us, you gotta go into Game Changer, and I think you just should be able to search Joliet Junior College under the baseball, and you request and you get accepted as a fan. We pay the fee, so it shouldn't be extra to watch. And so I have a 6-year-old that watches intently. He actually likes to watch the little guys move around computerized and watching the live stream. So I just got done with a meeting with our team, and I promised fans, we're going to do our best to live stream. Sometimes we're stuck in a little area and the Wi-Fi doesn't pick it up, but all games should be streamed via the Game Changer app, but then they all should be live. I can't tell you you're going to have the best angle or the best view sometimes, depending on press boxes or facilities, but you can watch us. So, on those 3 o'clock afternoon games, you still got an hour and a half of work or 2 hours of work, pop on the Wolves and watch what we can do. So.
I'm familiar with Game Changer. I used it early in my career over a decade ago, and the last time I used it was 2018, covering high school baseball and softball down south. Downloaded it today to find your stuff and Emily's stuff, softball stuff, and I was like, this app has completely changed.
And they just switched apps 2 years ago. So there's an old one and there's a new one.
Yeah.
But, we find it still kind of the best with the live streaming abilities. And it will tell you the score up there. It tells you who's at bat. And, it should at least allow our fans to keep updated with the Wolves and what we're doing.
Yeah. Last question, just any final thoughts for this conversation as, again, you start the season today, technically, when this drops.
I hope that we're sitting here maybe on this headset before Memorial Day weekend, before we make a trip up to New York. I really, really do. I'm excited. It's a new chapter. It's the same book, but a new chapter every year. And it's really excited to see how the chapter is going to end.
Yeah.
And the guys they've worked their rear ends off, and they're ready. And I just love watching this season. This journey every spring is so cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes it ends with hugs and cries, and sometimes it ends with really good hugs and more cries, but happy cries.
Like different tones.
So, but we're ready. They're ready, and we're just looking forward to seeing what comes for the Wolves in the 24th season.
Cool. Well, Greg, we'll have you on plenty throughout the season. It's just a matter of scheduling and whatnot. I know next week we're going to feature softball because the same thing. Their season starts next week. So we're going to talk to Emily then. And then, basketball stuff going on. So it might be a few weeks before you're back.
Yeah, well, no, there's, basketball and regionals and districts. And I was talking to my wife, my schedule is going to be, because I might go to Ohio and then Indiana and go watch basketball and then down to Texas. So, but you know where to find me. I think you're doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
And I'm telling you, you are really taking this to a really, really cool level, and it's just going to get better. So I know Wolves TV has been pretty cool, and it's just kind of touched the tip of it right now, and it's going to bring stuff. So kudos here to Damian and what he's been able to do with our sports information and just PR for the Wolves and our athletic program.
It's going slow, but we're picking it up.
It's all part of the process.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in for Coffee with the Wolves this week. We'll be back next week. And Greg, once again, thanks for coming on.
No problem. Go Wolves.